call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for Div Anarchy, and say it with me, interface with a couch in space. I'm up in the camera today because I forgot to check levels before the show. Looks like we're good. Adam Bomb, DJ D42, Tons Machina are on Twitch, the stars of MTV TV. That's pretty awesome, man. Oh, I gotta do good this time. Frank de Sack, Nummer 1 says woot woot. Diana says 3 Douglas Adam heads. Fan of all that. Is this a raid from MTV TV? Oh, that's cool. Right. Well, let's get down to it. We would not be here. Space Dog, Juno, come here. Juno, come here. Oh, Space Dog doesn't want to do it. You see, she every now and then she comes on, but I think she's a little like she kind of knows where like the camera is. Anyway, advertising super brand new this week. We got a new one. It's not the one you think it is. It's a brand new advertising. You think it's going to be something else, but it's actually Tiger Squawk Records. You want to check out the following. The Void, Smoldering Embers of Aggression, is out now. The mini EP from Ludo's Lex. It's 3 minutes of brutality. And Us by Florida's Batavia. You want to check out Cannibal World from Italy. Check her out on Pat's show. You want to check out Ashes to Slashes, also from Italy. It's good. It's really awesome. Skull Cultist Power Noise is back. Every Day is a New Disaster instrumental by Syndicate Zero is on Tiger Squawk. Howler Monkey featuring Choke, Chain, Grasp Logic, Seattle's own Pacific Northwest is the place to be. Bad Fact by Gasoline and Ruben. Crystal Geometry remix is on that. New MRO, Melting Rust Opera. Def Lee, my homeboy, is on Tiger Squawk. And you're watching this show, so like you're already like better than most of the globe, but like these people like get a little extra shout out from me because they're helping me out on Patreon. Thanks to Gozer Games, the best stuff. His wife's on Tiger Squawk, Silent Nightmare. I Hate Artists, Lured by Radium. Dominic Pietro, Grim Reaper for Hire, Hack and Slash, can't go wrong. Brema Lee, I love you. Ray Calderon, Fly Ahead. Walter Ragoon, Best Leather in Town. Hunt, Hawk for the Ditch. And Glitch on Twitch. Check out all that stuff. And, perhaps you saw me reveal Silent Nightmare coming to Tiger Squawk Records on the MTV TV special. So check out MTV TV when you get a chance after this. Or now. It's fine. It's fine. So, okay. Audience participation special means the guest canceled. So we're just making shit up. But we're not making shit up because we're running off a script. We will be using, once again, the Ghost Warrior. This is, of course, a choose-your-own adventure type book. And it is by Megan Stein and William H. Stein from 1985. So, all right. Now, E. Kimmelthar, I'm sorry if I'm screwing up your name, says you're already better than most of the globe. Nice to see someone acknowledging it. I just call him like I see him. And you are better than, like, a lot of the globe. You know, like in high school when they told you we were in, like, the 99th reading percentile, and you're like, I don't believe it. You are in the 99th percentile. Right. So, to the matter at hand. Now, last time, we found Lion-O. The adventure begins. Him and Snarf are... let's put a bookmark in that. Let me back up a step. The book opens with a preamble of the 80s cartoon. If you are unfamiliar because you're not older than dirt like me, uh, it is my favorite cartoon um, and possibly TV show. I don't know if Babylon 5, we'll see. But it's a very silly 80s cartoon premise. There's a bunch of good cat people on a planet they just discovered, and wacky shit happens. And then they fight the bad guy on that same planet. He's a he's a mummy named Mumra. That's the whole show. Snarf, exactly. So, the book opens with the origin of the Thundercats. They crash land on this planet. A lot of the episodes deal with them like finding some new environmental hazard. I'm going to skip all that, and I'm going to bring you to the beginning of the last episode, and then I'm going to dictate fate. One day, Lion-O sat by a deadly acid lake. He's just sitting there. Near him was old Snarf, his faithful servant and guardian. Why did they have to choose this meeting place by a poisonous lake? Snarf grumbled. Shh, Lion-O whispered. The giants are watching every move we make. They don't trust us. Those overgrown banana brains don't trust us? Snarf said. That's a laugh. Snarf, for some reason, the giants think we've been destroying their caves. I must meet them alone. As they asked, return to the cat's lair immediately. I commanded. Bossy. Snarf obeyed his master. As soon as he was gone, Lion-O was quickly surrounded by 20-foot-tall men with thick, hairy bodies. Party. I am Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats, Lion-O said. I give you my word that the Thundercats have never attacked your caves. If you are lying, said Quag, their leader, this will be your fate. Quag tore a huge tree out of the ground. Look, under the tree, Lion-O shouted. There are steps leading into the ground. And if my phone will let me. Okay, picture. All right, so. Can we do it? There we go. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. So there we have Lion-O and the Giants discovering the cage. Incidentally, I'm out of the Thundercats coffee mug today. You can kind of see a giant top center there. So, it's a tomb, Lion-O said. He ran down the stairs, followed by two of the giants. At the bottom of the stairs was an ancient door carved with X's. Lion-O pushed on the door, and the rotten wood gave way. Inside was a dark room, empty except for a huge round slab of stone in the middle of the floor. All these old tombs have treasure chambers, Quag said. I'll bet there's one under that slab, filled with jewels or gold, the other giants said. The two giants began to push the heavy stone with their hairy hands. Suddenly, they heard a half-human voice moaning in agony. The voice filled the tomb with its echoing cry. Just then, as suddenly, the voice disappeared, but the magical eye of Thundera, embedded in the hilt of Lion-O's sword of omens, had already opened wide. The sword growled the signal that meant only one thing to the Thundercats. Danger! Stop, Lion-O shouted just as the two giants started to push the slab of stone again. We must leave this tomb alone. Now, you at home. Normally, I would ask your choice. We have a choice here to open the tomb or not. Last year, Unit Code Machine, my coworker, asked, okay, we're totally opening the tomb. So, no, we're going to go on a whole different path for part 2 here. So, like I said, I am going to dictate fate and tell you that the giants are going to obey Lion-O. So we're going to close the door just so we sort of go on this other rail. So that's going to go to page 12. Stop, Quag, Lion-O said. There is no sleep for the living who disturb the sleep of the dead. Goth. Quag, the other giant pleaded. There are fabulous riches here. Certainly you are not afraid of voices in the wind. Quag looked at Lion-O and smiled. I will heed your advice, Lion-O, he said, pushing the other giant toward the stairs. Have you lost your mind? The other giant said in surprise. Lion-O's pledge of friendship is all the riches I need today, Quag said as he climbed out of the tomb. Aw. Above ground again, Lion-O said, we will find out who has been destroying your caves, and their actions will not go unanswered. Above ground again, Lino said. I screwed that up. With that, the Thundercats and the Giants separated. But on the way back to the cat's lair, Snarf was bothered by something. I don't trust the smile on Quag's face, Snarf said. You don't trust anything, Lino said. I trust what my eyes tell me, Snarf said. Furroy, former guest of the show, says, let's use ChatGPT to write our own Thundercats adventures. Genius. If you do that and you make it like a Find Your Fate, Choose Your Adventure thing, we'll do it here on the show. So that's turning to page 23. No choices for you yet. The next morning, all the lights on Cat's Lair control console dimmed without warning. Are we losing power? Lino asked. No danger of that, said Panthro, checking his dials and gauges. The antimatter Thundrillium modules are filled to capacity. Suddenly, there was a loud banging that shook the cat's lair. What was that? Asked Chitara. It was probably Wily Kit and Wily Cat getting into some kind of trouble, Tiger answered. What kind of crazy business is this? Panthro said, pounding the control board with his palm. We're losing Thundrillium fast. The main modules are being drained. I don't know if I can do a Panthro voice. It's too, my voice doesn't go that low. It's freezing in here, Chitara said. Grab the limiter control, Tigra, before we lose all our Thundrillium, Panther shouted. I can't move, Tigra said. Something's holding me back. Uh-oh. We've invaded Cat's Lair again. Like every show with these guys, their impenetrable base gets penetrated. So we're going all the way to page 74. All right, here you go. You guys got a choice. You ready? Panthro leaped for the limiter control, but as he touched it, something picked him up and threw him against the wall. There's an alien force in here, Lino said, and it's getting its strength from the Thundrillium, Wily Cat said. It's stronger than Panthro, Wily Kit said. A figure began to materialize. A figure as tall as the ceiling, shimmering and transparent green. It wore the helmet and armor of a warrior. And from its cat-like mouth, a single sharp saber tooth curved down. Oh boy, I know who this is. Ha 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 ha, the figure said. So this is what's become of the Thundercats. A puny lot you are. Lionel, it's a ghost, Wily Cat said. And it knows who we are, Chitara said. So, you guys, first person to tell me. If you think the Thundercats should fix the Thundrillium modules first, 31. If you think they should find out who the ghost is, 80. So we either fix the console or try to learn more about the ghost. Ghost it, says Furroy. I love it. That's going to be page 80. So the board is like freaking out, but there's a ghost in the room. We got to figure out what's going on here. Identify yourself. I, Lionel, Lord of the Thundercats, command you. That's pretty good. Pretty good Lionel voice. What? Led by a mere cub? Groon the Destroyer salutes you. Groon. I love Groon. Ha 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 ha. 4 ha's. The ghost warrior sneered. So it was your presence I felt in my tomb today. Too bad you ran away. Fortunately for me, the giants returned to remove the stone slab that has kept me prisoner all these centuries. Greedy fools. Giants! Come on! You let out the... What do you want here? Lionel demanded. What do I want here? What do I want? Groon mocked Lionel with a laugh. Perhaps I want to become a Thundercat. Ha 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 ha. Or perhaps I want you to pay me back for the centuries of suffering you've caused me. We've done nothing to you, Lionel said. Suddenly, Wily Kit was lifted into the air and hurled across the room so hard that she knocked out a control panel. Look at that! A new breed of flying Thundercats, Groon said, and he disappeared through the wall. He's leaving again, Chitara said. But we will meet again, the ghost said. So a ghost showed up and it was causing some problems. Those guys. All right, choice coming up. So, Groon knows a great deal about the Thundercats, Tiger said when the ghost was gone. Yes, so we've got to find out more about him, Panther said. He's been dead so long, we'll need someone with a long memory. Hey, old guys in the house. The Thundercats hurried to a hut on the edge of the lonely forest of silence. Mallow, wake up, Lionel called. A sleepy an ancient sleepy-eyed burble stepped out of the hut. Mallow, you have the entire history of Third Earth in your head. Tell us about Groon, Lionel said. He's a robot. I only know the legends, Mallow said. Groon the Destroyer, as he was called, ravaged Earth. No one was strong enough to defeat him, not even Mumra, but Mumra trapped him in a tomb and sealed him up forever. Okay, as a Thundercats fan, I got to do a little aside here because this is fascinating. We haven't really tackled how Burbles age because they're robot bears, but there's an old one here. So are they living metal? It's very fascinating to me. And this book posits that Mumra was the guy that imprisoned Groon, not Jaga, the sort of forebearer character, which is, I love the evil and less evil dynamic. It's very, very interesting to me. They did that with Hordak and Skeletor and He-Man. Hordak was the more evil. I think Mumra is probably more evil than Skeletor. That's sort of my just hunch, but you tell me. They're talking to an old robot bear. I only know the legends until today. I'm going to look for him. Who's coming with me? Panthro said. Panthro is going out to seek the ghost of Groon. The others are going back to Cat's lair. So, you guys, if you want to go with Panthro, Chitara, and Wily Kit, turn to page 70. If you want to return to Cat's lair with Lion-O, 52. So, Panthro or Lion-O? All right. Not seeing a response yet, except Hans Machina says Panthro. So, we are going to go with Panthro. This is very exciting. We were pretty much with Lion-O the whole last episode. We did fight a bat. That was cool. But now we're going with Panthro. Thank you to Hans Machina. And everybody at home. We do a lot of business in rewatch, so thank you for rewatching. I haven't said that enough here on Space Couch. Panthro, Chitara, Wily Kit, and Wily Cat headed straight for the Wolo village. Oh, we're seeing Wolos to look for Groon. He's not here, Wolo said. Wolos for you at home. They're sort of the other Ewoks. Like Burbles clearly are the Ewoks, but they're robots. Wolos are just sort of like dumpy, very beardy kind of merchant people. He's not here, Wolo told him, but someone saw him near the Fire Rock pits. Don't go there, Panthro. It is forbidden to use the powerful fire rocks. They are too difficult to control. Ooh, getting subversive. When the Thundercats arrived at the glowing Fire Rock pits, Groon was there! Oh, shit, boss fight. He was bending over the bubble yellow and red rocks. Tiger camouflaged himself so he could get close enough to see what Groon was doing. Tiger could turn himself invisible. Fire rocks, the third Earthlings call these, Groon said. If they only knew. He grabbed a handful of them and pressed them together. I'm growing weaker, Tiger thought to himself. Wait a minute. Fire rocks? This must be deadly thunderanium. It's the one thing that weakens us. I've got to warn the other Thundercats. But then Tiger slumped to the ground, too weak to move. Oh, jeez. Okay. Page 18. Oh, this is... Stakes just keep getting higher. So we're cutting back to... Tiger sort of went off by himself, and now we're cutting back to Chitara and Panthro. Tiger's been gone too long, Chitara said. Let's go look for him. Panthro and Chitara raced to the Fire Rock pits. There's Groon, Chitara whispered. He's hammering those burning rocks onto one end of a gigantic club. Kryptonite axe. Stay back, Tiger moaned when he saw his friends. It's thunderanium. Chitara threw her magic staff at Groon's feet. It snapped to its full length in midair, but Groon smashed it to pieces with his club. Panthro rushed the ghost and aimed a karate kick at him. But Groon dematerialized, and Panthro landed on the ground near the Thunderanium pit. Even though he was weak, Tiger struggled to his feet. He snapped his bolo whip at Groon, but it went right through him. Then Groon picked up a vine and lashed it back at Tigra, tying him against the tree. Whip fight! Here's a hot idea, Groon said, and he set the tree on fire. The other Thundercats were so weak from the Thunderanium that they couldn't do anything to save Tigra. Turn to page 77. We haven't hit a picture page yet. I am sorry about that. Except for the one that I still have on screen from the last thing. We're going to page 77. Oh, that's all the way here. Okay, so Tiger is strapped to a burning tree. Luckily for Tiger, the Sword of Omens alerted Lion-O to his friend's danger. Lion-O raced to the Fire Rock pits. He found the Thundercats, who were weakened, and Tigra tied to a burning tree. He freed Tiger and helped the Thundercats get back to Cat's lair. Phew! What happened out there? Lion-O asked when the Thundercats had regained their strength. We followed Groon into a trap, Tiger said. Those Fire Rock pits, they're really filled with Thundranium. No wonder you were so weak, Lion-O said. Thundranium is our deadliest enemy. At least you're safe now. I don't think so, Panther said. Groon made an enormous club out of the Fire Rocks. And how does Groon know all of our strengths and weaknesses? Everything from Thundrillium to Thundranium, Lion-O said. This must be before their first encounter. I don't know, said Tigra, but somehow we've got to find out just what his connection to the Thundercats is, you guys. Okay, so we're going to go. So that's over. Choice page. Why don't we look up Groon in the Who's Who of Ancient Ghosts? That's what it says. Uh-oh. Check this out, you guys. Space Dog's on the show. Hi, Juno. Aw. Yeah. Good girl. I love you too. Aw. You're never on the couch. You guys brought my dog out. Okay. So I got excited. Okay, so they're gonna look in the Who's Who of Ancient Ghosts. Very funny. Oh, there's a joke. Very funny, Lightly Cat said. But this is getting serious. Even I'm beginning to worry about the Thundranium Club Groon has. Yeah. Well, you guys, I wouldn't do this for just anybody. Chitara said, but maybe I can find out about Groon. I'll go into one of my psychic trances. No, it's too dangerous, Tiger said. Sometimes it takes you weeks, even months to recover. That's right, Chitara said. You can't risk it, said Lion-O. I'll ask the Sword of Omens to tell me about Groon instead. Okay, so you guys, here's the choice. If you think Chitara should go into her trance, page 14. If you think Lion-O should use the sword's magic, page 32. So we have, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me, psychic trance. Oh no, I forgot. I'm not seeing all of my channels here. There we go. Oh, Planet Damage is here. Okay, so, all right. Furroy has got the drop with sword magic. Although Planet Damage, please let me know at your choice at the next one. You get dibs. Okay, so we're gonna do it. You guys ready? Here we go with the sequence. All the way on page 32. We must learn as much about him as he knows about us. We must learn as much about him as he knows about us if we're to fight him and win, Lion-O said, drawing forth the Sword of Omens. Yes, but Tiger began. The sword will tell me what happened before the legends of Groon the Destroyer, Lion-O interrupted. Lion-O held up the sword. Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Show us what we must know of Groon the Destroyer. The straight crossbar of the sword's handle curled up to form the eye holes. Lion-O put the eye holes to his face. The eye of Thundera flashed brightly and then went out. I see I see nothing, Lion-O said. The sword showed me nothing. Young leader, Tiger said, the sword has no psychic powers. It cannot show you the past. Lion-O blushed. Sometimes I get carried away. Speaking of getting carried away, Chitara said with a sigh, I guess that puts the ball back in my court. Okay, so she's going to go into her trance anyway. All right. Kind of passive aggressive, but that's okay. Chitara stood in the middle of the room, feet together, arms outstretched, eyes closed. She began to turn until she was a spinning blur. Finally, she stopped. I see, but not Groon the Destroyer, Groon the Thundercat. Thundercat? No, Lion-O shouted. Shh, Tiger warned. Don't disturb Chitara's trance. It could harm her. Now I see, she said. Jaga, he and Groon were best friends and great warriors, defending Thundera against all invaders. Chitara's face changed as though something were hurting her. Greed, she said. Greed overcomes Groon. His army sweeps across Thundera, destroying, looting, shaming the code of the Thundercats. But Jaga pursues Groon and captures him. They fight for hours, days, weeks. Jaga is mightier and Groon falls. He is banished from Thundera forever and set adrift in space. Yeah. Chitara opened her eyes. Suddenly, the Thundercats' lair shook and rumbled again. All right, we're going to go to 44. Yeah, I forgot. There might be pictures on the other page. Okay, choice is coming up. The Thundercats rushed outside, stumbling and falling as the cat's lair shook time and time again. They scrambled out onto the drawbridge, looked up into the sky, and saw Groon, bigger and brighter than ever. Kaiju! He towered over Cat's lair, pounding it with the new Thunderanium club. Ha ha ha! Come meet your fate, Thundercats, Groon called as he struck the cat's lair like a gong. Groon the Destroyer has come for his revenge. I can't take any more of this guy, Panthro growled. He clenched his fists in front of him. I've had it. He's ruining my whole week. Okay, planet damage. Tell me if you want Panthro to use the Thunder Tank or Lion-O to use the Sword of Omens. Tank or sword? We'll give the illustrious planet damage a second. I know people are like doing things. Okay, cool. So, planet damage. Sanity checks. Check that out soon. Votes sword. All right. I'm going to sort it up. Hey, all right. No, wait, never mind. I got to the wrong page. So this will be finally something with an image. Lion-O unsheathed the Sword of Omens and called to Groon. Your fate will be sealed by the symbol you betrayed, the Eye of Thundera. Ho! The eye responded instantly. It opened and fired a laser beam at Groon. Groon laughed evilly as he caught the beam on his battle club, and the beam faded. The eye has closed, Wily Cat said. How do we fight a ghost? Wily Kit asked. Chitara gave us the answer, Lion-O said. You fight a ghost with a ghost. What? Lion-O leaped on up the parapet of a drawbridge and held this, the Sword of Omens aloft. Thunder! Thunder! Thundercats, he called. Thundercats, ho! The sword grew to 3 times its size, and the Thundercat symbol shot into the dark night sky. Jaga, Lion-O cried. Your ancient enemy awaits you, ghost kaiju! Jaga, who was once the wisest and bravest Thundercat Lord, was dead. But his spirit remained to help and advise Lion-O in times of need. Now he appeared in the sky, as large and commanding as a ghost as Groon. Jaga, take my sword, Lion-O called. Oh, this is going to get good. I mean, it's pretty exciting so far. But Groon was waiting for Jaga all along, Lion-O said. You're right, Panther said. He wanted a rematch. Groon swung his battle club, but not fast enough to catch Jaga. Jaga ducked and stuck back with the Sword of Omens. But the sword stopped before it hit Grun. Jaga swung again, but the sword stopped short. Ha ha ha, laughed Grun. Surprised, Jaga? I forged my battle club from Thundranium. You can't hurt me. The battle went on for hours. The clash of metal against metal echoed through the sky. Jaga fought mightily against Grun's strength and the deadly Thundranium. I'm afraid Grun's Thundranium club will finish Jaga off soon, Tiger said. Lion-O suddenly leaped again to the drawbridge parapet. The sword is not enough, Jaga. Take my strength as well, he shouted. No, Lion-O called Jaga weakly. Jaga, as Lord of the Thundercats, I command you to take my strength. Getting wild. So we have a ghost kaiju fight, and Lion-O is like psychically imbuing Jaga the ghost with his corporeal strength. The troll high. The troll hole is here. What's up to Bit? Man. All right. Jaga took on Lion-O's strength. He grew back straighter, his arms more muscular, and his strikes at Grun more true and deadly. Lion-O, however, was soon too weak to watch the battle. Panther had to hold him up. Who's winning? Lion-O asked quietly. Jaga, Panther said. He's backing Grun up all over the sky. Finally, with one great swipe of his sword, Jaga knocked the battle club from Grun's hands. You have won, Jaga. I will never fight you again, Grun said, and he knelt on one knee. Jaga put the sword away. Then Grun reached out as if to shake Jaga's hand. But instead he grabbed the Sword of Omens from Jaga's belt. Grun laughed victoriously and raised the sword over Jaga's head. Before Grun could lower the sword, however, the eye of Thunderus snapped open. The sword heated up and began to glow. Grun screamed and then disappeared, leaving the sword behind. Turned to page 6D6. All right, you guys. You have won, Jaga. As I knew you... Wait, I gotta do this right. You have won, Jaga, as I knew you would, Lion-O said weakly. No, Lion-O, Jaga said, returning the sword to Lion-O and giving him back his strength. The strength of the Lord of the Thundercats won this day, as is only proper. But you knew that Grun would go for the sword, didn't you? You let him take it, Lion-O said. Better an honest enemy than a false friend, Jaga said, fading into the night. You must learn to tell which is which. That's pretty deep for a thunder. You will, I'll try, Jaga, Lion-O said. You will, Lion-O. You will. Jaga's voice echoed after his form could be seen no more. The end. You did it, you guys! Last time, we only had Lion-O trapped in the tower. And in a very climactic battle, we did get him out. But this time, for part 2, you guys did not disappoint. Your choices led our hero to defeat ultimate evil. We didn't even meet Grun last time, one of my favorite characters. There's an interesting thing here. And we're done. I'm just gonna yak because whatever. You won. Thumbs up, you guys. I could not have asked for a better crew or an ending to the story. So thank you to Planet Damage, Bitman, for Roy. Check out his wonderful video games. MTV TV, Tons Machina. All you there at home. So the Thundranium didn't work on Grun, but it does drain the energy from the Thundercats. But Grun was a Thundercat, so it's not genetic then. It's not some weird acts on some allele of whatever chromosome you have in your Thundercat makeup. It because it's clear that would apply to Groon, but it has to be probably magical in nature and based off like the Thundercat code. Like it's a morally sensitive rock. Like so, once you give up being a Thundercat and you become Groon the Destroyer or whatever, uh, unless that also changes your genetic makeup somehow, and it is just a rock having a chemical reaction. But like a the idea of an element that somehow makes uh, uh, moral judgments is interesting to me. I like the Giants. Um, they were underused, I think. The Wallows and the old Burble, that was fascinating too. Aging robots is always kind of an interesting thing in sci-fi. Uh, they have the beards and stuff, but how you guys doing? Uh, just chilling today. The guest canceled, so we're doing part two of the Thundercat special, which is great because I really wanted to fight Gurren, so thank you for that. Um, let's see. I will be in Cincinnati on January 28th with Vampire Weekend at Bernie's. That's the Gothsicles just announced. The Gasoline Invertebrate will be at Mechanismus Festival in Seattle. The Gothsicles will also be doing Dark Force Fest. And Space Couch is going to be at Dark Force Fest. Again, that's in Parsippany, New Jersey. I don't know who the guest is yet. I asked Vossi from Reaper, but he didn't think his English was good enough. But we're going to see what's going on there. Going to try to do Space Couch at Mechanismus too, but we'll see how that goes. Trollhole says just painting and trying to find a MIDI file for Demolition Man. You should have Chitara on the show. Probably figure something out. I mean, they have action figures. But I'm working on a remix. I'm working on so many remixes, you guys. I gotta get back to that. But now that I know that Third Earth is safe for another day, thanks to you at home, I can get back to that remix. This will be 40 octaves below from Vancouver, and then I gotta do some Gasoline stuff. But yeah, okay. Whatever. Space Couch out. You won. You guys, you made my heart so happy. There's not a lot I have. Really, when you zoom out, it's what do you have? And I think one of those things is this show, man. So thank you.